touch up my hair and makeup with me while I tell you guys what it's like to be traded from an NBA team as a first timer. Okay, I have to hold my phone, so scratch that. But for those of you who don't know, my husband played for the New York Knicks. We were there for 5 seasons, and about 72 hours ago, we got traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves 2 days before training camp. So the past 72 hours have been crazy, to say the least. This is actually our first time that we've been traded in 11 seasons, which is pretty good for the NBA. So we've been really lucky with that. But the timing isn't the easiest because our son already started school. We have 2 boys. They are 7 and 2, and our 7-year-old had already started 2nd grade. That's how my life has been. So the next day after the trade happened, my husband and I flew here to Minnesota immediately because we have to find a house, schools for our kids, get settled in, get him all organized, because as soon as the trade is finalized, he starts practice and training camp with the team immediately. So meanwhile, our stuff is being packed up in New York, and our kids are finishing one last week of school, and I'm here trying to get us a home and schools for them to come to and all of our stuff to come to. So it is pretty hectic. I'm really grateful that it's actually not in the middle of the season, like before the trade deadline or whatever. But it has been pretty crazy for our first time and unexpected. And I'm not gonna lie, when we heard Minnesota, it was pretty shocking, although we were so ready to leave New York. Living in a condo with 2 kids is so hard. I don't care what anyone says. It was a great experience, but we were already looking to move outside of the city. It was just getting so hard and overwhelming for us, because my husband's from Texas and I'm from Kentucky, and that's just not how we grew up. But when we heard Minnesota, it was pretty shocking. But when we got here, we were driving around and I'm like, these neighborhoods are gorgeous. Like, we love it. It's so beautiful. The people are so nice. There's so many nice restaurants. It's just things that you wouldn't know. I know it gets cold, but it's cold in New York too. And I heard they make the most of the snow here. So we're really excited for a new switch up, a new chapter for our family. That being said, the hardest part by far was telling our 7-year-old that he had to leave his school and friends. That was the hardest conversation, and honestly the hardest part for Julius and I too. Leaving that community. The school is incredible. The parents, the boys. He's so sad. He's been so sad all week, and everyone is just so sad that he's leaving. So that's the really hard part about the NBA and the family aspect of it, is that, you know, it affects all the kids, the whole family, and they have to uproot their life. You know, as adults, we can deal with it and move on, but for kids, it's really tough. So now this is kind of the first time that we're understanding that and living it. So that is by far the hardest part. Other than that, we're super blessed and can just deal with it and have the means to go and do it. So I don't really have any complaints. I'm just super grateful for this new chapter for our family. But if you have any questions, comment them and I'll answer and keep updating you guys along the way.